Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, as you can see from above, is going to be a big one. I'm going to be doing my best to give you guys a full roundup of everything you need to know about PUBG and Krafton in the current game and their future plans going into 2021, 2022, and beyond. So that's going to cover all the new games they're working on, all the new media they're working on, like TV shows and animated series and all that kind of good stuff. So just a big PUBG news roundup. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, now first things first, you're going to be seeing this video tomorrow, which is Saturday morning, and that is what, the 14th, August 14th. Right now, currently, there's PUBG free to play between August 10th and August 16th. So as you're seeing this video, you can go download the game for free on Steam. It's PC only. You can get your buddies to go download it. You guys can jump in and experience PUBG for free until the 16th. After that, if you continue to play it, you will have to obviously purchase the game. But really cool, PUBG is doing that, and they're doing that for a number of reasons. Obviously, A, just to get an influx of new players into the game to test out all the new updates that they've been doing. But two, they're kind of testing the waters to see about potentially making PUBG free to play permanently, which would be really, really cool, I think. So get in there if you haven't already downloaded it and see if you like it. In addition to the free-to-play, PUBG has also released PUBG partner Twitch drops. So if you watch our live streams on Twitch, like myself, I'm a new PUBG partner. There's a ton of other PUBG partners that have the drops enabled. If you watch if you watch our streams on Twitch and you link your Steam account, and I believe it even works for console, like your Xbox or PlayStation account to Twitch, as you watch the stream, you'll get contraband coupons, which are the PUBG drops. Those contraband coupons go directly to your account and it can be used to open the contraband crates, which I've made a lot of videos on. That's like the progressive skin, a barrel, the progressive SLR skin, the new Buzzkill one, and all those other weapon skins that are in those loot crates. So I'll link a video to how those loot crates work to the top right of your screen and in the description if you're not familiar on how to use those. But make sure to go check that video out and go watch your favorite content creators on Twitch to get some drops. Those drops will last until the end of the weekend. I believe they end on Sunday. So today's Friday. So you got 2 more days to watch. And I think you can earn like 15 coupons total, which is pretty cool. Okay, next up, PUBG Zombies mode. Now, this also does end in a couple of days. I really didn't mean to get this video out to you guys soon. I've just been super busy with the new house, trying to get all that closed and stuff. So PUBG has a new zombie survival mode. It's out on PC and console now. PC, it ends in a couple of days. I believe console goes for another week, but it's actually a really fun and cheeky mode. I've made a couple of videos on my channel about how the mode works and the best ways to beat the mode all the way through phase 10. So again, linked in the top of your screen or in the description if you want to go learn more about that mode. But I do recommend going to check it out. It was a fun experience. All right, moving on to patch 13.1. Now, I've done a full video on everything that you need to know about 13.1 for console and for PC. Again, this is going to sound like I'm reiterating, but link at the top right or in the description below for all the actual updates. But the key things you need to remember and take away is that the new map Taego has a secret room that you can unlock by finding a loot key. You can go to these buildings. There's 14 of them total. I've laid them out on my video, and I've also posted that picture with all the locations marked on Twitter. You can go check that out, and that just tells you where to go if you have the loot key. And when you get inside there, there's level 3 gear, there's self-res AEDs, emergency parachutes, and sometimes there are weapons that don't even spawn on Taego, like a Scar L. Pretty cool. All right, there's also the new care package, the multi-care package. These don't drop all the time, but sometimes they do, where the plane flies overhead. Instead of just dropping one care package, it drops like 8 or 12 smaller ones that also have a bunch of loot in there, and they have the opportunity to have level 3 gear, just like the loot truck does on Sandhawk. So pretty cool there. And then the emergency landing is a new intro animation that sometimes happens on Taego. It doesn't always happen, but when it does happen, your plane's like on fire and breaking down. And if you don't jump out at the end of the road, it'll automatically shoot you out and you take 50% damage. But it makes the plane do like this weird diagonal, so you can't quite get as far across the map as possible, as previously possible. The implementation of this is a little weird. I think their overall idea was to kind of force people to drop a little bit closer to each other. But to be honest, I think the plane like needs to go way more vertical, like maybe at like a 60-degree angle, because right now it's kind of just like at a slight maybe 40-degree angle, if that. And so it really does go the whole length of the map. It just gets really low towards the end. So I don't think it really achieved their goal of making everyone kind of drop a little closer together. But overall, I still think it was a pretty fun and cool like first time experience. Maybe they'll make some updates to it. All right, now moving on, Alex the PUBG dev is back and active. Earlier this month, he tweeted out this image here, which is a ammo box for a 5.7 by 28 millimeter ammo round. And what that is referencing is the potential for a new P90 SMG, or was it like the FN57 pistol, I believe it's called. So there's potentially a new crate weapon is what I'm assuming it's going to be, probably the P90 SMG. And I think my buddy PlayerIGN, PlayerIGN grabbed this little screenshot. I think this is actually from PUBG Mobile, this screenshot, because this gun can be found in PUBG Mobile, and we're starting to see a lot of the crossovers from mobile to New State into now PUBG PC. So I expect to see that gun in the next patch or two, which I think will be really, really cool. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm thinking it's going to be crate only though, personally. All right, we got the new PCS5 PUBG Continental Series coming up soon at the end of next month, September, it starts in the middle of September all the way through the beginning of October. And this is a new tournament series that PUBG runs. If you guys are familiar at all with my channel, you know that I do overviews and roundups of all the PCS series. I have my videos on the Pick'em Challenge, which is where you can unlock the new skins that they have inside of the PCS series. So be looking forward to have that on this channel. Obviously, make sure to get subscribed and hit the bell if you're not already to be notified when those videos come out. But all the players are going to be able to, the teams, I should say, are playing for really big top prizes, a lot of money on the line for them. And then for what you guys are interested in is the PCS Pick'em Challenge, which the skins, I've got to say, so far look absolutely sick. I cannot wait for these skins. Now, I don't know all of the weapons, but there's a SLR, there's a barrel. I believe that's a Scar or a K2, and obviously the new UAS and the new clothing skins. I mean, they nailed these skins. I'm gonna go show you a tweet from PlayerIGN in a second. But so the skins come out September 8th through the 30th, and then on console 16th through October 20th. And then there's a Pick'em Challenge with a similar date. So just stay tuned here. I'll keep you guys updated when that stuff becomes available. We go over to my buddy PlayerIGN's Twitter page, which if you guys don't know, PlayerIGN does all kinds of PUBG leaks and news and source information. That's where I get a lot of my information for these videos. So shout out to PlayerIGN on his Twitter and his YouTube and his Patreon for helping me help you guys out. So here is some screen grabs from the little video that PUBG put out. So we can see it's an SLR. We can see it's a barrel. Look, I think that's another barrel. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like just two barrels there. That might be the K2. I don't know. My eyes are deceiving me, but really cool overall. And just the back of the hoodie there. SLR getting, God, that looks freaking so, like the color scheme, they nailed that. That's really cool looking. New level 3 vest is what that's looking like. You remember how the last PCS you could have the upgraded customizable level 3 vest? I think that's what they're going to do again here. All right, now moving on to the new Map Kiki, which is the 8x8 map that was announced earlier this year, slated to release December 2021. Now, this is the little screen grab, the kind of art style that they were going for. And we don't have any renders of the actual map, but it looks cool and it sounds cool from what Dave Curd, the head developer, head of the studio, has been talking about. I have a little excerpt to tell you here. So it says, Kiki is another 8x8 map that is planned for late 2021 or early 2022, depending on if there's delays. It will boast a diverse set of locations, from mysterious underground labs to massive skyscrapers to swampland to subways and underwater buildings. This will be the most exploration-focused battleground yet, showcasing many of the gameplay innovations the team has been working on but aren't quite ready to talk about. This is going to be a battleground that is much more of a living, feral, hostile world and less of a playground. That's what Dave Curd said. That is the mission statement of Kiki. Deeper and more immersive, and it gives you a much wider range of things to do and try. You still got to get to the end. You still got to kick a lot of ass, and you still got to get those headshots. But the things you can do in the downtime, the way you can explore, the ways you can traverse will be new. So this is really cool because I think that they're going to take a lot of the aspects of all of the new maps that they've done. The one I'm specifically interested in is Haven. If you guys remember that city, nighttime city map that had the AI factions that control certain locations. They had the AI flying overhead in the helicopter, the loot truck that drove around. It just gave like a really cool ambiance and vibe to that map. And thinking of something like that, but on an 8x8 scale, where it's not as cramped, but there's still those like new things you can do and explore in between while you're looting or moving to locations or whatever, I think is going to make for some pretty unique engagement. So really, really looking forward to that. All right, now up until now, all we've done is discuss things that you can expect to come for PUBG PC and PUBG console. Now I want to take a minute to kind of do a high-level overview of this video that PlayerIGN re-uploaded from Krafton. Krafton, again, is the makers of PUBG, the PUBG Universe. And specifically, that word is really key, PUBG Universe. So what Krafton has outlined and what their grand scheme plan is to create this entire PUBG umbrella, where it's not just the PUBG universe, the PUBG experience that we know and love from PC and console and even PUBG Mobile. What they're doing is expanding it to multiple what they call metaverses, where you've got the PUBG experience that we know in our timeline. Then they're going to have a PUBG timeline 300 years into the future. Then they're going to have art books and comic books, and their goal is to even develop a Witcher-like game, a fantasy game that then they can expand to a TV series with Netflix and stuff. So a lot of this high level stuff going on. So I wanted to take a minute and just kind of dive into a couple of those details that I thought were really neat and interesting to kind of give you some insight as to where PUBG might be going in the future. All right, so what I want to get to here is the actual timeline for the PUBG universe. So I'm going to blow this up a little bit, but my head's going to be blocking this part right here. And all this is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, launched in 2017. So my head is the beginning of the PUBG universe. Then there's PUBG New State. Now, what's interesting is they don't show here PUBG Mobile, because technically that was made by Tencent, which is not even owned, or which is not even made by Krafton. It was a side development that they basically have ownership in. Really weird how that worked out, but. So they got PUBG New State. Now, this is where they changed some of the logo, some of the artwork, and the overall naming of PUBG. It's no longer going to be PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It's just PUBG Battlegrounds. And that's because of this whole big overarching change they're going to make. So we got PUBG New State, which is basically PUBG Mobile 2.0. Planned to launch later this year. I think even October, November. I recently participated in the alpha playtest about a month ago. There's another alpha playtest coming up soon. And so that'll be a pretty big hit, I'm thinking. Then they have a webtoon and short animation planned for 2021 into 2022. And a webtoon is basically like an online comic book. Then they have the graphic novel, another webtoon, and a web novel planned all before 2022. So again, this is part of PUBG's plan to branch out and kind of tell these multiple and diverse stories in other media formats instead of just games. So it's to kind of get fans thinking of PUBG in more ways than just the video game. For me, it's kind of interesting because like when I fell in love with my first like big game was Halo back in 2001. I think it was December of 2001 when it launched on the first OG Xbox. That's when Halo 1 came out. I fell in love with that game. And what really solidified for me that game was the whole universe that they created and expanded. So they had the game, then they had books, then they had online little excerpts of stories, and then they had multiple, obviously Halo all the way to Halo Infinite now. It's like 6 or 7 games. And they really focused on branching out these different player arcs and different character arcs and different stories that really like made you invested into the universe. That's what PUBG's trying to do here as well. Then they got the Callisto Protocol planned to launch in 2022. We don't know exactly when, but Callisto Protocol, for those that do not remember, is set on Jupiter's moon, and it's 300 years ahead of the current PUBG timeline. and it's like this horror survival, and it's got like this horror vibe very similar to Dead Space. The actual creators of Dead Space are making this game here, and I did a video on Callisto Protocol a few months ago. I'll link that to the top of your screen or down below. But again, this is part of PUBG's plan, is to make a different type of experience, but still quote unquote in the PUBG universe, to always get you thinking about PUBG. So that game should be pretty cool. Now here we go, moving on to the one that just kind of flashed in front of our screen. Let me back up a little bit here. All right, now after Callisto Protocol, another kind of exciting one is going to be animation and then PUBG Cowboy. Now PUBG Cowboy was teased a few months back by PlayerIGN with just a literal image of a cowboy on a horse on what looked to be Miramar, but there's actually a lot more to show. So PUBG Cowboy, if I go to the little section of the video here, so PUBG Cowboy is going to be essentially like DayZ. Think of DayZ, but in the PUBG universe. They're using a lot of the PUBG assets, player models, weapon models. It looks pretty cool. I'll play this short little clip of it here.
카우보이는 PUBG 세계관의 디스토피아 시대를 배경으로 전투, 제작, 루팅을 통한 자원의 획득이 기본이 되는 오픈월드 서바이벌 게임입니다. 이는 서바이벌 장르의 새로운 장을 열고 장르 발전의 새로운 동력이 되어줄 것입니다. 눈물을 마시는 새.
That's pretty freaking cool, man. Like, it's got a really cool vibe. It had, like, when I first saw the teaser image of the cowboy on a horse, I was like, what the hell? Is this like a Battle Royale Dirt kind of ripoff or something? But I think it's way more in depth than that. Way more in depth. And you can see there, like, they're taking some time. You got vehicle mechanics. You've got, like, repair mechanics. Gasoline, you're putting tires in these trucks, you're having to do campfires with your squad to get out of the cold, it looks like. So a lot of that DayZ vibe, and it looks cool. It looks cool. Like I'm picturing construction, building little forts. You can choose to team up or not team up, and you can even see the kind of level 3 PUBG helmet just to keep everything again in that universe. But that game looks kind of promising. I'm not gonna lie. Like, for DayZ fans and fans who like the survival games, maybe even like a Tarkov feel, that could be pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, moving on. All right, now if we jump back to the timeline here, you're gonna see one thing's kind of missing. So they got the webtoons, PUBG New State web novel, Callisto Protocol, the new animation series, PUBG Cowboy, then a movie and TV series, but they don't really say what it is, and this little teaser image doesn't show much. What they're talking about here is a new dark fantasy RPG game, kind of like The Witcher. So what they quoted it as is the Korean Witcher. It's based on the bird that drinks tears. So let me go to here. And it's called Project Windless. Now, that's obviously probably just the code name. It probably won't be called that when it comes out. But it's based on The Bird That Drinks Tears, a popular Korean fantasy novel. And what their goal is with this is like The Witcher. They really like copy and pasted The Witcher's success and want to do it for this series, where they're going to have a AAA game, hopefully, AAA game. Then they're going to create a TV show out of it. They even specifically say a Netflix series, like they already know where they want to bring it to. And then they're hoping for movies as well to capitalize similar to what The Witcher did. And this is them saying there. So they already have the fantasy novel. Boom, they got that. They're creating a AAA game, then get a Netflix series. What is really funny to me is that they even specifically say Netflix series, not like just TV series like Amazon or whatever. Like they really are trying to copy and paste The Witcher's success, which I get, like, all right, that's a good plan, I guess, but it's kind of funny how it almost seems a little narrow-minded. All right, now back to the timeline. There's actually one other thing they don't show in here, and that's Thunder Tier 1. I don't know if you guys remember, but Thunder Tier 1 is the top-down shooter that PUBG developed. I did a video on that a few months back. I'll link it to the top of your screen or down below. Thunder Tier 1 is actually really cool. And you can play it online as co-op or a single player with AI. And again, it's a top-down shooter where you have like these kind of tactical missions where you can use cover, sound, lighting. You have to retrieve VIPs, plant bombs, all this kind of cool stuff. So if you're into that sort of top-down shooter gameplay, I would really recommend Thunder Tier 1. Check out my my video linked above or in the description, or just go on PUBG's website and go take a look at some of the trailers. That game is supposed to be coming out later this year, which I found it funny they didn't mention it here. All right, so then last up is Project Titan. Now, Project Titan is still kind of shrouded in mystery. So we're talking 2022, probably late 2022 for Project Titan. And from what PlayerIGN can ascertain about Project Titan is that it's going to be made by the same studio that's making Callisto Protocol, and he's pretty darn confident that it's going to be the PC console BR successor. Now, there really isn't any more details other than that it's most likely going to be the new PC and console BR successor, which makes a ton of sense. We've all been waiting for a PUBG 2, and there was recent reports that they were abandoning PUBG 2 to instead reinvigorate the coding on the current game for PUBG PC. I don't know what to believe, to be honest. Judging by their shrouded mystery and their announcement of Project Titan, it makes sense to me that that's PUBG 2, given the success that PUBG 1 had. But we'll see. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking. Are they gonna do a PUBG 2, or are they just gonna try to kind of reinvigorate some life into the current PUBG platform, the current PUBG game, I should say? Okay, and a couple little details I missed here. So the animated project that PUBG is going to be working on is going to be created by Adi Shankar, if I'm pronouncing that right. And he's working with Krafton, Indian Game Development, the Metaverse, Netflix, and more. So this is part of the new series that they're going to be developing, which should be pretty cool. So if you want to go read that article, IGN has it. It's on PlayerIGN's Twitter, and then I'll link it down in the description below. And then just to kind of touch back on the whole PUBG universe, if you haven't been keeping up, PUBG has released a few things recently. A Ground Zero PUBG Universe deep dive with Don Lee, and this was some Taego lore that you could kind of get into to have a better understanding of how the battlegrounds were developed, why there are these survivors put on these random maps. And what you end up finding out, I did a whole video on this, but just a real short synopsis, is what you end up finding out is that they basically were videotaping people in the battleground. So they would force people to go and fight to the death, videotape it, and then sell these videotapes to the highest bidders, to these, rich weirdos who wanted to see these videos of people dying and stuff. So it's really interesting how they kind of made or projected that lore for the PUBG universe. It has like some dark secrets. I think we're going to find more about that in the future, but I thought it was pretty cool. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, go check out PUBG's YouTube and go watch some of their mystery unknowns, watch their Ground Zero, etc. Oh, and more on PUBG New State. I forgot to mention that one of the new art animated series that they have, they've kind of already announced and teased. It's part of a short story that they have here called All Hunter's Eve by Stephen Blackmore. I'll link it in the description below. You can go check that out. But it's kind of just a lore story about these characters inside of PUBG New State in the new map Troy. They even have a little teaser video of it up on their Twitter, PUBG New State. So go check it out if you're interested in that sort of stuff. All right, guys, I don't know how long this video is going to be going for, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I have some other stuff I want to talk to you guys about that's not necessarily PUBG related, like Doc's new BR game that he's announcing, the new Super People Battle Royale that was just announced and leaked by PlayerIGN. So I want to go over some of those things, but I'll do that in another video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the PUBG News Roundup. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, share it with a buddy, get subscribed if you're new to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video or in the next live stream over at twitch.tv/C_film. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.